So the big question has been, why are we attempting to set up a data desk in the county? Is there a problem? And the simple answer to that is counties have continuously attempted to collect data, data which their intention has been to process, to manage, and to use for decision making. However, there have been challenges in the simple process of data collection. There have been challenges in how they have processed that data. There have been challenges in how they have stored that data and managed it, and even in the way that they have disseminated it. And so you will find that a lot of times then, even the little data that they've collected, or regardless of the size of data they've collected, they still have not been able to efficiently and effectively use it for decision making. And decision making is key here in matters of resource distribution. Our objective is to work with the county, build their capacity in a way that they begin to understand, number one, that data is a resource, it's an asset. And once they understand that, then they begin to understand what are the proper methodologies of accurately collecting data, how do they store this data, of course in view of adhering to data privacy rights, how do they process that data, how can they work with citizens to collect citizen-generated data, and then how do they distribute it and disseminate it in a way that is relevant, in a way that their stakeholders are able to process that data. And finally, how does that data become useful and actively used for decision making? Nandi County was part of the fellowship program, the Data Leaders Fellowship program that we have been running at the Open Institute. And courtesy of that program, the county asked that we partner with them so that then we can build their capacity, their data capacity skill set, so that they're able to collectively create a platform that enables them to collect data and store it in a central place, which then can be processed, which then can be disseminated, which then can also be updated regularly and shared with the various stakeholders on a needs basis. So once it's stored in a central place and everybody understands the framework, the data framework, then they are able to come in and mine data, they're able to come in and add more data, they're able to come in and upload, they're able to process it, and then they're able to distribute it and disseminate it to the various functions of the county government for, again, like we always say, effective and efficient decision making. So that's really our objective and why we're working with the Nandi County governments. We're very passionate about promoting open government. We're passionate about promoting open data systems. And we're very passionate also about promoting citizen participation in public service. And so what has led us here is the continued efforts and work that we've been doing towards sensitizing county governments, and by extension the national government, to begin to realize, number one, the importance of data, that it is futile and fruitless really to attempt to make decision making regarding the lives and matters that affect citizens without accurate data. So we've been highly advocating for the use of data in decision making, and by extension then we've also been advocating for encouraging county governments to engage citizens in citizen-generated data. So our work has culminated to us getting to a place where the counties are sensitized and the counties have begun to see the needs and the relevance and even the benefits of having data within themselves, because then that data is what they use when they are making their budgets plans. It is that data that they use that they begin to apportion priorities amongst the number of projects that they have. And as you always know, there will always be competing needs when it comes to public service and trying to create solutions for the citizen. But with data now, they have begun to see the importance because it shows them where they should place priorities in terms of resource, in terms of personnel, and even in terms of capacity building. And so as counties have begun to respond to this call, then like I mentioned earlier, we also rolled out the Data Leaders Fellowship Program, which was building the capacity of specifically chief officers within the Department of Planning and Finance and Economics. And it is because we felt that those are the key stakeholders who are involved in planning. They're also the key stakeholders who have the capacity to set up statistical units, data units. One thing we must say is that we're really, really impressed. We're impressed at the work that the county government has been putting in setting up a statistical unit. And here's the interesting thing, a lot of times we point accusatory fingers to county governments and say how they don't know how to do this, they ain't doing this. We were pleasantly surprised. The Nandi County government has already created data collection frameworks that have been standardized across departments that they currently have been using to collect data. And that was very, very impressive. And when you look at the amount of data they have, when you look at the quality of data that they have, it's, again, impressive. It's rich quality data. So we're pleasantly surprised to realize that they had these templates that they use across the board, across different departments. We also learned, again, and we're very impressed by the fact that they have a central lead who then provides guidance in terms of data collection, in terms of data processing. So once it's collected, it is processed, and they have found a way to disseminate this data, again, very strategically. So when they're having their budget engagements, either with the county assembly or when they're doing public participation, then they're able to present this data that then citizens, both the county assembly and the citizens, are able to go through and process, that then give them highlights on what areas that they need to focus on matters of budget and resource allocation. So that was quite impressive. Of course, then we've also been able to empower them on how then to process this data and present it, particularly on matters of presentation, how to present it in a way that is more effective, in a way that enables them, that enables their audience to process and understand, in a way that enables their audience to dissect it, so that then decision making becomes easy, because then their audiences and their stakeholders have been able to actually process and appreciate what that data is talking about. So it's been an interesting couple of days engaging with them. Like I said, we have been impressed, we have learned from them, we have seen the capacity that counties have to collect data, we have seen the amount of data they can be able to collect, and we've also been able to see the impact of having a dashboard that is able to tell you all sorts of things that are really, really important on matters of development and matters of citizen engagement. So it's been a fruitful workshop. Our next steps now are we are gathering all the data that they have. We're going to process it collectively with them. We're going to set up the data desk, which again, like I said, is an online platform. We're going to set it up for them. And then, of course, we'll continue to empower the different data users with different capacities on how to process that and how to store it and how to disseminate it. So it's been a fruitful and fantastic workshop, and we're looking forward to continue this work of setting up the data desk.